In this video, I'm going to show you how to create a very simple Father's Day flyer like this. This can be used for programs, events, and any other thing that is Father's Day related. And this is coming up. Hey everybody, Innocent here, and welcome to the channel. Over here we make videos like this. If that is something that sounds like you're interested, kindly consider subscribing. Inside the description will be a link to download all the resources that I'll be using for this tutorial. So if you want to practice, you can download them and practice. And in case you do and you want to send it to me, you can hit me up on IG, Twitter, Snap, or anywhere on social media. That said, let's get into the tutorial. So I'll be using Photoshop 2023 for this project, but any version that you're using should work fine as well. First off, let's create our project. Ctrl+N to create our project. Now we're going to start our project at 4x4 inches. So you put 4x4 inches here. If you don't have inches here, you can select inches, and then you go ahead and you click on create. Now first off, let's add a gradient overlay. So you go to your create new fill adjustment over here, and then you're going to select gradient. Go into your gradient box. If you don't have these colors yet, you can select any of the colors available here and change them to whatever you want. But I've already set my gradient, so I'm going to select the colors here. I'll go ahead and click OK, and I'll change my style to radial. I want it in the other way around. So we'll click on the reverse here, and this color will be in the middle. At the same point, you can left click and drag the color up a little bit like this if you want to do that. But if you don't want, you can keep it anyhow you want it as well. And once you have this, you can go ahead and click OK. Next thing we want to do is we're going to bring our images in to make up the background. So go to File, Place Embedded, and then you can bring our first image in. I actually downloaded this image, but I couldn't trace where I got it from. That's why I had to save it to make this tutorial. I've used it a couple of times, but in case you get the actual image, you're just going to turn it into black and white. To do that, you're going to press Ctrl Shift and then U to desaturate it. That is already desaturated, so we can just position it somewhere around here, and you press Ctrl T to transform it. Now with this, you can set it to any of these blend modes, overlay, or mostly I prefer the soft light because it makes it so light. Okay, and then you can add a layer mask to it. Use your brush tool, that's B for brush, and then you can reduce your brush size a bit and brush off the parts that you don't want. So it doesn't need to be very hard. At the background, something like this is fine. So you can increase it a bit like this as well, and then you go ahead and decrease the opacity. It doesn't need to be that very hard at the background, so you decrease the opacity way down like that. Okay, so once you have this, I think this is okay. As we move on, if it becomes too much in the background, you can decrease it some more, but for now let's bring the other one in. So we go to Place Embedded again, and we bring the second one over here. The same thing, you press Ctrl Shift and then U to desaturate it if your background is colored. Now you go to the blend mode, and you can set this one to soft light as well. Decrease the opacity slightly like that, and then you right click, you rasterize, and then you add your layer mask. You select your brush tool, and then you can brush off the parts that you don't want. Now let's decrease the opacity some more so we can transform it like that. And that means we need to brush off this top part so that it blends into the background. Now the next background that we will bring in is this Father's Day background that is online. So you're going to bring this one in here. You right click, you rasterize. Now you see this one has colors. Okay, so we are going to desaturate it. So Ctrl+Shift+U to desaturate it, and you're going to set this one also to soft light. It looks too much in the background, so let's reduce the opacity way down. Way down, somewhere around here should be fine. Okay, so now our background is set. The next thing we bring in is our subject. So Ctrl+O to open. This time it opens the image in a different document so that we can take off the background and bring it in our project. Okay, so first off, let's unlock this, and to easily remove the background of this, you go to Window, Properties, and you go to Quick Actions over here. You don't need to waste so much time. AI is here to help you. So you go to remove background. Just like that, the background is gone. Now, this might be subjected to your image actually, because if your image has a lot of confusing backgrounds, it might be very difficult for this to work out. Or if your image is not high quality. I generated this with Image FX, so you can see the quality is there, and that is why it gets the job done so easily. So you don't need to waste my time using all of these, the Laxo tool to remove backgrounds. If you want a full video on this, I'll leave a link and in a card here so you can check that out. Now, once you're done with this, you bring it into your project somewhere around here. It's fine. Now let's add a bit. It has to go on top of this one actually. So let's bring it to the top. Now let's start this up a little bit. So let's go to filter and go to camera raw filters. Once we are in here, you can zoom in a little bit and then you can start to touch this up a little bit. Okay, so let's go to the basics. Again, this might be subjected to your image. You don't need to use the same things that I'm using here, but you can play around with all the settings, and anyone that works for you, you go with it. You go with the flow. So let's increase the shadows a bit. The shadows are already okay, so we can contrast it a little bit. And the most important thing that we are looking at here is the clarity and the texture over here. So let's take the clarity a little bit forward. You can see that it is changing the image. It is making it more clear, especially if you look at the beard. Okay, so it makes it a bit more clear, and you can increase the texture as well slightly like that. So you play around with any one of these, and that means I'll increase my shadows also a bit. Great. And now let's go to the details over here to make the face a bit smoother. Let's increase the noise slightly, and you see it is looking too soft, so let's increase the sharpening as well. So the more you increase your noise, the more you increase your sharpening so that it blends it. And now you can toggle here to look at the before and the after. So this is before and this is after. Right now, again, this is entirely dependent on your image, your subject, how you want to go. You can even go for color grading. Okay, so you can color grade this a little bit. You can make it way darker or anyhow. I don't want to touch up with that one, but I believe you get the whole point. So once you are satisfied with whatever you want, you click on OK here, and you can see that the effect has applied. So if I zoom in here, you can see Control Z, the before and the after, the before and the after. You get it. Now let's choose our brush to select our layer mask and brush off of the bottom part so that it fades into the background, right? And we can position him down here a bit. Now the remaining things are basically going to be the text. So let's go for text. So the first one that we are going to use is called Font Spring Demo. I'll leave links to download it in the description as well. So I've already copied my text, so I'll just paste it over here, press Ctrl T and transform it, and I will make sure that it is centered. I'll push it up here slightly like that. Now this isn't the color that we are going to use. Okay, so let's right click on this, go to blending options, and we can give this a color. We go to gradient overlay, and let's give it this gradient right over here. So this is the first color, and the other color is pretty much white, so just use that. Let's open that up because it's the main subject. That is the subject of the flyer, so or that is the main theme, okay. And right underneath of it, you're going to put another text. For that, let's go for Century Gothic or Poppins. Okay, so we paste that over here, and you can press Ctrl T to transform it so that it becomes smaller. Oh, I think it's selected Century Gothic, so let's paste, or let's select Poppins over here. So you press Ctrl T, transform it, and then you can center it as well. Now we are going to copy the same effect on the Japa on this one. So you hold Alt, drag the FX over here, and you place it on it. Simple like that, right? And with the same poppings, we are going to paste this one over here. So with the DJs and the MC, so you press Ctrl T, you transform it, and then you can center it. But here is something you probably didn't realize. You can see that this is a bit spaced out, and that is because when you go to your toggle character here, you can space your, or you can set your tracking to any value that you want. So if you close it up like that, the text closes up. I just wanted to spread this out. That is why I went around 240, which is fine. 260 actually. 260, which is fine. We can bring the celebrating the Father's Day down and increase the edge part right over here. So let's make this a bit bigger. Control A, and you center it. Now for the DJ's information, we don't want to keep the gradient. So what we can do is we can right click and we can clear layer style over here so that that remains entirely white. The next thing will be the location and any other information. So for the location, we are going to select a rectangle tool over here. Let's set our radius to about 20, and the fill, let's keep it, or let's leave it like that. We can just create a rectangle over here. So something like that should be fine. And then we can double click on the layer thumbnail here, change the color to white. So we select our text tool, still using Poppins semi-bold. We are going to paste our text over here. Okay, and for that we are using this particular color. You can go here. So apparently my Photoshop crashed, so I lost the file that I was working on, so I had to just quickly redo it again, and then get back to this point. And this is a note for you to save your works. Okay, all right, so let's continue on. Now we are going to select our text tool with the same Poppins in place. So you are going to put in our text or our location over here. You press Ctrl T, and then you can transform it nicely around here. I've been using this location quite recently, quite recently. Okay, so I'm sure most of you are familiar with this. Now let's go in there and bring in or you can even change the color here to something way darker. All right, now this is fine. You go to File, Place Embedded, and then you can bring in the location icon. I got this from PNG Wing. You transform this nicely like that, and then you can put it over here. Right, you right click, you go to blending options, and you can give it a color, any color of your choice. It has to match with the colors that you're using though, so somewhere around here it's fine. And then you go ahead and you click OK, and then OK. Now you can group these three: the location icon, the edition itself, and its rectangle, and you can call it location, right? So that you can easily move it around here and all. Now inside of that same thing, we are going to bring in the music background. So we go to Place Embedded, and then we can bring in this music icon here, position it somewhere around here, transform it slightly to be small. You right click on it and you go to blending options, and then you can give it a color, say white. Click OK, and then OK from here, and then we can make a duplicate of the location text. So Ctrl J to do that. Slide it to your right side, and you can change the color to white, and then you can edit that text to live font. So it is going to be a live band program, so you can increase the size over here as well. Position it. I think the music icon is, let me bring that on top. The music icon is a bit bigger, so let's select that, press Ctrl T, and transform it slightly. But make sure once you do that, position it to match something like this, right? And then we can select the two, group it within, so you can do a group within a group, push it slightly over here. And now since we have one group, you can press Ctrl A and center it. Now that you have the location, it is left with the date and the time. So for that, we're going to use the ellipse here. We create a small ellipse right over there. I'm going to change the color to white, and then we can position it over here. You make a duplicate by pressing Ctrl J. You press Ctrl T, and then you can transform it slightly like that. So for the one beneath, we're going to decrease the opacity to something like 40, 39, somewhere around that area is fine. And right on top of that, you're going to put our date. So that is going to be Father's Day. And yeah, let's select the color and change it to dark. Press Ctrl T, and then you can transform it. Make sure it fits right into the circle, or let's say the ellipse. That is Photoshop terms. Okay, and you make a duplicate of that right underneath of it. Select your text and change the color to white, and then you can put the time over there, so 7 p.m. So this, you select all of them, and that will be for the date and time. Now we are almost done. We need to bring this one slightly down so that we can bring in the logo. So we go to File, Place Embedded, and then you can bring the company logo or any logo that is given to you. You transform it, and then you can put it at the top over here. Press Ctrl A and make sure that it is centered. And that is it. And then here's the catch. You can do a lot more of color changes with this. So you can go on top of the backgrounds here. Let's bring this somewhere here. Now you can play around with the colors. I actually love the teal type of going into the greens a bit somewhere something like this color here. That is the color that I actually liked. And on top of that, we can add a bit of curves because the background looks too white or too bright. So we can add a bit of curves to it like that so that we can see the silhouette and the backgrounds a bit more as well. Okay, so let's select this one. Press Ctrl T and pin it up. And you don't necessarily have to go with all the preferences that I'm giving. I'm just giving you the ideas on what you can. So even for the hue and saturation, you can go with something. You can go all along. Okay, there are so many, but these colors are not for men. Mind you, it has to be for particular, like the colors that you're choosing has to make sense. Okay, so we can go around -22. Now the last thing we will do over here is we're going to add some flare at the background so that it separates the subject from the background. Okay, so we can do that on top of this one. Probably let's put it on top of the main subject. So we add a new layer, select your brush tool. I'm showing you how to make a flare without downloading any lens flare. Okay, so you select your brush tool where you want to put the flare, and then you just right click, make sure your hardness is 0, and then you just left click over here. Okay, so you can press Ctrl T, transform this to make it a bit bigger, and then drag it out of the frame a bit more. Okay, so you don't need to keep it all within the frame, so you can drag it out of the frame a little bit more. And you can set this to screen so that it's not necessarily that harsh. Or what do you think? Touchlight is also bad. I think these blend modes are giving me way ideas, some ideas actually. This one is not bad. This one is not bad at all. The vivid lights, I actually used normal in the actual design, but this is giving me ideas. But the problem will come when you are trying to add a bit of saturation to this. But what do you think about this one? It separates the subject so much and it blends with the subject over here. But what do you think? I think I prefer this one, and I'll increase my curve a bit. I think this looks fine for me. I think I'll settle for this. I'll show the first design that I did also so that you can do the comparison over here. And I think the more reason why I settle with the normal for the main flyer was this color over here, the ones that we did. So if you look at this one, it matches with this. Okay, but let's settle for this. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Which one are you going for, and what is the reason behind that? But that said, that is how you create a very simple flyer for Father's Day. You can also use this in subsequent event designs. And yes, don't forget our links to download all the resources will be in the description. You can download them and practice, and in case you do, you can send it to me on any of my social media. Don't forget to follow me on social media as well. If you gain value out of this video, subscribe to the channel will be so very much appreciated. Thank you so much for sticking around to watch. I'll see you guys in the next video. It's Innocent here, and bye.